Hello. Hi, I'm Sandra Pollock from Open Mind Coaching. Thank you so much for joining me. And it's Monday, and every Monday I meet with you here to share a tip for the week. And a tip for the week is usually something that I am either working through myself or have been thinking about, maybe a bit of both. But I like to share, and I have my regulars, so thank you for joining me. And I'm hoping, as usual, that this tip will be something that will help you as you go through your week to create a better week and have some of the best outcomes that you could possibly achieve in this week. So what am I looking at this week then? Well, I've been thinking for myself about how much time I spend thinking about the things that I want to really happen in my life, and how much time I spend thinking about those things that I really don't want to happen at all, those things I'm unhappy with, those sorts of things. Have you ever asked yourself that question? What would you say is the percentage of time that you think about the things that you really want, you want to achieve, against the percentage of time that you think really spend and the energy you put towards those things that you really are not wanting? So that's something that has been on my mind for the last week or so, and so I thought I would share that with you. I'm a believer, and if you've heard me speak before, you will know that one of the things that I say a lot, and I do believe, is that we get what we focus on. So in terms of focus, we're talking about what's going through our minds all the time, or the majority of the time, and what we think affects how we behave, and what we think also affects how we feel. And in addition, what we think affects what we do, what we say. So it's behavior, it's thought, behavior, emotions, and what we talk about. All of those things come from what we think. And so I also, am a proponent to, I'm someone who talks about regularly, what do you think about? What are you spending time giving energy to in your head, in your thought processes? So I guess I'm looking at the next stage, what am I talking about? And I must admit, as much as I have for years, tried to work on what I'm thinking, sometimes when you are not happy about things that are going on or not going on in your life, depending on where you are, you tend to, if you're like me, hands up, this is all about me in terms of, because I don't know what you think, but I tend to then talk about that quite a lot, especially with my girlfriends and those people who are really close to me, my husband. I'll probably be talking about this has happened and I didn't like it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm more talking, spending a large percentage of my efforts and my energy talking about those things I'm unhappy about. So I'm not saying you shouldn't be realistic. I'm not one that would say you should try to ignore the negative things. No, you deal with those. Those things need to be dealt with. They need to be sorted. They need to be addressed. So definitely do that. But what do you do after that? How long do you go on talking about it and talking about it and talking about it? And a lot of that, we think that I have to get this out. And that may be true to a point as well. But how long does that go on for? And that's what I'm sort of trying to catch myself in, and become more aware of how much time I spend talking about those things I'm not happy about. And my goal this week is a challenge for myself to reduce the amount of time I spend and the amount of energy I give to those areas of my life that I'm not happy about. Because if I go back to my belief that you get what you focus on, if you're focusing much of your time on the areas of your life that you're unhappy with, things are not going well for you and all of that, well, you're going to get more if you're spending all of your energy focusing on those things. So as I mentioned before, yes, pay attention to those things. Do what you can to change those things. But as soon as you've done that, put them aside, and my challenge for myself this week is to put them aside and then focus on and spend time talking about what I really want to achieve. So if you're running your business, and your outcome is that you want a successful business, you want to make your clients happy, you want to give a service that is a wow service, not just an okay service. Hi Jez, thanks for joining me. You want to then be talking about how can you make that happen. You want to be talking about what will happen when that does happen. You want to be talking about who can help you to achieve that, instead of the things that have gone wrong. And the same thing goes for your career. If you're focusing on your career, you want to be talking about what you want to achieve. You want to be talking about how you can develop yourself and what you're doing to develop yourself to achieve the outcomes you're looking for, to get to that next position that you're headed for. And focusing, therefore, on what you want to achieve in your life will create the environment for those things to happen. So that's my challenge for me this week, to spend more time thinking about and particularly talking about those things I really want to achieve in my life, and less time talking about those things that I really don't have, really don't want, sorry. I think in our society we have been taking down that road to spend so much effort and energy on paying attention to what we don't want. And then we wonder why we are getting more of what we don't want and less of what we really do want. So that's my personal challenge. So I would like to encourage you to join me in that challenge this week, to become more aware of what I'm actually talking about more often, and to take efforts to change what I'm talking about, so that I'm talking about those things I really want. And yes, that will be a challenge, because you're changing a habit. We get into habits and don't even realize until it's too late that we're into that habit. So when we're looking to change a course of habit, go upstream instead of the downstream we've created, then that is going to be challenging, and it may not be easy. But like everything, if we can catch ourselves doing it, we can change it. If we're doing it without realizing, without becoming aware of what we're doing, then it's much more difficult to change. So this week, I'm going to catch myself on what I'm thinking and make sure that I'm changing that. So Jez, hi. Jez says, hi there. Makes perfect sense, as always. Thank you so much. And Jez says Jez will be joining me, and will check in with me at the end of the week. Fantastic. And you do that. And if I don't share it, you make sure that I do. So thank you for joining me. So I am really working on changing the thought processes, but also what am I talking about? And I'm not saying that you don't. So sometimes we have to let that stuff out. So if you need to talk about it, talk to someone who is also going to challenge you to, okay, this is enough now, Sandra. You need to change. So, okay. And what would you want that person to ask you? To help you? Well, it will be okay. So that's what's happened. So what would you like the outcome to be? If you want to stay talking about that same topic, what else do you want? What difference do you want? And what are you going to do to make that difference come about? Or maybe the person can get you onto a completely different subject. So, okay, what else is going on in your life? What's good that's going on in your life that we can talk about? So that's two ways that maybe if you've got someone that you talk to a lot, you could ask them to help you in this challenge. And I've got a couple of my friends that I will be saying, right, this is my challenge for this week, so can you help me? And these are the types of questions that might help me. You might have different questions that might help you. So thank you for the Jez and others who are going to be joining me. And yes, let's catch up at the end of the week and share about how this has worked for us. And actually, whether or not we have become happier within ourselves, because that's something else I'm looking at. How do we make ourselves happy? Happiness comes from within and not without. So maybe we'll talk about that another time. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for those who are taking the challenge with me. And have a fabulous week, and may your week be even more successful and productive, and may your emotions take you to higher levels of energy, achievement, and results. And I love you lots. Thank you again. Love and light to you. Have a fabulous week. Ta-ta for now. Take care. Bye-bye.